The U.S. data privacy landscape consists of numerous federal and state statutes, and which regulate data across health, finance and credit, education, marketing, and children. Whilst there have been several discussions over the years regarding a comprehensive federal data privacy law, they have failed to materialize. Having said this, bills are frequently being proposed and considered before the US Congress, and several have arisen of late once again. Despite the absence of a comprehensive data privacy law at a federal level, the US has various laws that protect personal information and impose obligations on organizations depending on their area of their activities. In this regard, important federal laws that companies have to comply with include the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, or HIPAA, which regulates the privacy and security of health information. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act of 1999, or GLBA, requires financial institutions to explain their information sharing practices to their customers and to safeguard sensitive data. In addition, the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970, or FCRA, protects information collected by consumer reporting agencies. The Children Online Privacy Protection Act of 1998, or COPPA, imposes requirements on operators of website or online services directed to children under 13 years old, whilst the Telephone Consumer Protection Act of 1991, or the TCPA, restricts telemarketing calls and the use of automatic telephone dialing systems and artificial or pre-recorded voice messages. Furthermore, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act of 1974, or FERPA, protects personal information contained in students' education records from unauthorized disclosure. In addition to these laws and more, the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, often takes enforcement action against organizations for violations of Section 5 of the FTC Act, which prohibits unfair or deceptive acts in or affecting commerce. This has resulted in a body of case law and settlements from the FTC over violations of consumers' privacy rights or failures to maintain the security of sensitive consumer information. Moreover, additional comprehensive frameworks and guidance are often issued by other federal bodies, such as the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST. Over the last few years, NIST created the cybersecurity and now the privacy frameworks, which seek to assist organizations in identifying and managing privacy and cybersecurity risks, and in building innovative products and services. In July 2020, the Court of Justice of the European Union invalidated the EU-US Privacy Shield, a self-certification framework that was used as a mechanism by companies to transfer personal data from the EU to the US. Since the invalidation of the Privacy Shield, there have been discussions between the European Commission and the Department of Commerce to create another mechanism that will replace the Privacy Shield, with a final decision expected to be taken in 2021. In addition, the US was also the first participant in the Asia-Pacific Cross-Border Privacy Rules System, known as the APEC CBPR system, which similarly acts as a certification mechanism to ease personal data transfers between participating economies. At a state level, breach notification laws across all 50 US states generally require the notification of breaches of personal data to affected residents, and, in certain cases, to state attorneys general, who have enforcement powers over these laws. In addition, the California Consumer Privacy Act of 2018, or the CCPA, is the most comprehensive state privacy law in the country and provides consumers with rights over the use of their personal information, and places certain obligations on businesses who collect, sell, or share such information. The CCPA was amended in November 2020 by the CPRA, a ballot initiative that appeared in the California general elections and which strengthens the rights of consumers and places further obligations on businesses and other stakeholders. This patchwork of state privacy laws adds more complexity to the discussion on a federal privacy law and whether it would preempt state laws, which has been a focal point of the debate so far. To continue researching key compliance requirements in the US, use jurisdiction dashboards to quickly access the latest regulatory developments and best practice from leading experts.